In this video, we're going to take a look at just a few of the many VFX that went into Obi Wan Kenobi. But, as is the case with the majority of modern productions, these VFX wouldn't have been achieved in such a timely manner or have been quite as convincing without previs work from the third floor. In addition to blocking and planning shots within each episode across several phases of filmmaking, the third floor's visualization work also included the creation of previs that the team could explore for camera angles and lighting, with some scenes blocked in real time in Game Engine. Image Engine delivered several sequences on the barren and mountainous Mapuzo. One of Image Engine's first sequences in the episode captures Obi-Wan and Leia's craft touching down on the planet. The first 3 shots of the landing sequence are 100% CG. Most of Episode 3 was shot on location in California, so some shots required extensions rather than full CG creations. The landscapes were a combination of LiDAR, photogrammetry, and hand-sculpted topography. Image Engine built a whole kit of Star Wars parts for these extensions, including plants, rocks, and mountains, and these were reused throughout several shots. And they used Houdini to procedurally lay out the plants and trees. The sequence where Freck transports Obi-Wan and Leia toward the Imperial checkpoint had some unique challenges. The external shots may seem straightforward enough, like you just have to remove the vehicle's wheels and add a CG extension to the underside, so it looks like it's floating. But removing the lower parts of the vehicle also meant recreating the plants behind it, adding mountain extensions and the CG vehicle extension, and any foreground plants and some CG dust and some extra Joshua trees and any other foreground action required in the shot. For the ride-along shots, Image Engine used a combination of plates and CG backgrounds. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough background plate footage to cover the length of the journey, so they created a full backdrop valley using the real California location. Of course, the lighting conditions shot on the blue screen didn't match the on-location lighting shot in California, so the plates had to be prepped and regraded to make everything work nicely. The checkpoint sequence had a wide variety of work: vehicle work, laser blasters, dust FX, environment extensions, and full CG shots. They tried to keep as many practical elements as possible, like the on-location shoot, the mining rover, the tower, and Freck as the alien, to help ground the sequence in reality. For the Stormtrooper death shot, they layered a combination of sparks, heat, embers, smoke, and dust elements, in order to give the effect enough realism without making it too gory or disturbing. In Episode 5, Obi-Wan and Leia escape to the rocky planet of Jabim. One of Image Engine's sequences involved showing Vader's 2 Imperial transports swooping down through the clouds towards the scattered, crater-like path base. The hardest part of this was giving the planet the characteristic Star Wars look. They did this by using every other planet seen in previous Star Wars movies and television shows as reference. The other important aspect of obtaining that Star Wars feel was the camera language. They had to make sure the camera felt confined to the sort of motion control moves you could only achieve with miniature model shoots. Hybrid artists created the desert set extensions that stretched approximately 30 meters wide for the Tatooine Canyon environment using concept art provided by Doug Chiang. The rock structures themselves needed to be smooth and not too busy, so they would blend in with the rock structures used on set during filming. Hybrid also recreated massive set extensions and extended backgrounds for the cliff environment, keeping as much of the foreground detail as possible. Hybrid artists also helped transform a camel named Silas into a Tatooine Eope, a herbivore mammal native to the planet. The transformation work on Silas required meticulous tracking and match moving for each scene where we see Obi-Wan and him together in order to integrate him back into the set seamlessly. The team also animated a CG Obi-Wan and sat him on Silas, replacing the camel's head and in most cases the saddle as well, since there was a mat placed underneath it during filming. Daiyu is a shady world awash in neon lights, corruption, sleaze, and vice. Hybrid artists came up with a specific look for the dark alleys and integrated assets. They adjusted light reflections and contrasts, keeping as much of the live-action footage as possible, whilst making sure that the shots all blended seamlessly with one another. They also designed different objects to integrate into both the city and alleys, and modified angles and perspectives from the initial shooting. The alleys were custom designed with specific looks and decor extension integrations. To bring the city to life, they also added CG characters and crowds. When Anakin first appears on screen, the first thing we see are his eyes. Highbride had to do very delicate eye treatment work because they did not use contact lenses during the filming. The team also designed and animated CG clamps, CG atmosphere, FX passes, and redid the plate and the clamps that connect the backside and the different body parts, including the clamp used on Anakin's neck. Additionally, the studio replaced and corrected reflections on Darth Vader's and Stormtroopers' armor, which required detailed tracking and match-moving work, and they produced set extensions and atmosphere enhancements for Darth Vader's throne room. Whether you enjoyed the Obi Wan Kenobi series or not, you have to appreciate the two great things that it did manage to achieve. One, it provided a story that added detail and depth to the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin that, rather than just being an annex, actually fit in as part of the Star Wars film saga. And two, the VFX teams, with their understanding of the imagery and camera language, managed to make it belong there.